New Hampshire often ranks as #1 in America for places to retire, but choosing the wrong town can leave you frustrated and over budget. I'm going to go through 7 towns that I'd personally retire in. Listen to all 7 because the last one might be the one that you need to choose. #1 on the list is Wolfeboro. It's the place that I grew up, so I know it the best. I choose to live here and raise my family here. You will see on the sign, the oldest summer resort in America. People have been coming here to enjoy their summers for hundreds of years. It has the quaint downtown. It's on the shores of Lake Winnipesaukee. Wolfeboro, known for its main street with all its shops, ice cream, and restaurants, is just the tip of the iceberg for the activities available through all 4 seasons. What makes Wolfeboro a very desirable place for retirees is its Huggins Hospital is right on Main Street as you come into town. You're less than 2 hours from Boston and an hour and 15 minutes from Manchester for those who want to travel the world while calling New Hampshire home. Price-wise, Wolfeboro does have both residential and waterfront homes, so depending on your budget, you may want to find a nice home off the water, maybe with a nice view or some privacy, or find a home directly on the lake. The ones on the lake can be pricey, selling upwards of $10 million, but the sweet spot's between $5 and $8 million for a nice waterfront home on Lake Winnipesaukee. There are a few other smaller lakes that are crystal clear spring fed and a great option at lower price points. One of the best attributes of Wolfeboro is its community. It's centered around hobbies, it's centered around activities. We have fishing, we have boating, we have cross-country skiing, we have hiking, we have mountain biking, walking trails, all things indoors and out. There's a newcomers club, there's bridge clubs. Retirees can find their community in and amongst lots of different areas. There's a great tennis club. I could go on and on about the downtown feel, the privacy and some of the estates on the outskirts of towns, even the small ski area that was featured in Powder magazine as the most relevant or important ski area in the United States because of its rope tow, community feel, children's programs, ice skating rink. When you think of New Hampshire, when you think of New England, when you think of small towns, Wolfeboro encapsulates most, if not all, of what you can imagine. One thing that you might miss living in Wolfeboro is the big box stores, the chain restaurants. There is only one chain that's been allowed in Wolfeboro, and that's Dunkin' Donuts. So if you want your coffee and need the chain store for coffee, you do have Dunkin' Donuts, but if you need any of the other big box stores, you need to travel a little bit to get there. So Wolfeboro real estate comes in many shapes and sizes. You have the on the water that we've talked about, but you also have waterfront condos. You have condos that are off the water that are 55 plus. You have residential homes that are walk to town, and you have homes that are on 5 acres. The median price of homes in Wolfeboro is about $700,000. Of course, you can find some that are a little bit more affordable, and some of the nicer homes can go up from there. The next town that I'm going to mention is Portsmouth, which is about an hour south. Before we head down to the coast and talk about Portsmouth, let me introduce myself if we haven't met. My name is Adam Dow. I've been a realtor for over 20 years. My team and I serve the entire state of New Hampshire, helping buyers find their perfect home, and sometimes I mean starting with the perfect town. So if you really want to learn about New Hampshire and learn about our area expert concept, go ahead and hit subscribe to learn about all things New Hampshire from locals who live here by choice and love it and would love to be an ambassador for you as we introduce the area. Next up, we have Portsmouth, a fantastic area and one of the most popular areas in New Hampshire. It's a small city, many restaurants. It's a waterfront city, many of those restaurants along the water, right next to the tugboats, which is a fantastic photo op. But more so, Portsmouth is 45 minutes from Boston, an hour from the Lakes region, and just under 2 hours from the mountains. So living in Portsmouth, you have plenty of industry, you have plenty of activity, and you've got plenty of options to travel and enjoy all things New Hampshire. Portsmouth is along the 18 miles of coastline on the Atlantic Ocean. It has many opportunities for ownership. It has 55 plus communities. It's got downtown condos both on and off the water, right near Strawberry Bank, where you have concerts and summertime venues, and in the wintertime ice skating. You have Jimmy's Jazz Club right in the heart of downtown Portsmouth with fantastic shows headlining from all over the country, spectacular food, and just one of the most unique venues you'll ever see. Recently restored and a spectacular place to visit and bring your friends. One unique aspect of Portsmouth is Pease Tradeport, an old Air Force base converted into a business park. The great part of this is it takes the 9 to 5 traffic and puts it out near the highway, and it keeps the downtown clear from commuting traffic and lets people shop, eat out, and just stroll around with their coffee while enjoying a show at Strawberry Bank. As with many of the towns that we're talking about, Portsmouth has its own hospital. Convenient for those quick trips, but heaven forbid something comes up that's more serious, Boston is just an hour away. Portsmouth real estate can vary. You can find your option, whether you want to be in a downtown condo, which will be over $1 million, on the ocean for multiple millions of dollars, or in a nice side street walk to town in the $1.5 million range. Some people say that Portsmouth, the only downside is price, but many retirees think it's worth it. But if you want oceanfront prestige, let's head down south. Located right next to Portsmouth is Rye, a completely different feel. Ocean-type properties. You're 5 minutes away from downtown Portsmouth, but you feel like you're in a completely different environment. Sprawling lawns, ocean views, sand beaches, walking trails. Driving down Route 1A, you can tell it's just generational wealth. One side's the Atlantic Ocean, and the other side's estates, homes, rock walls, guest houses, and just amazing views. Rye is that quiet town, meandering streets, very few streetlights, and a place to call home. When I'm selling luxury homes, one of the most valuable aspects a home can bring is privacy, and these lots are multiple acres, elbow room from neighbors, and if you want to enjoy the ocean, you can travel down to Wallace Sands Beach or Genesee Beach, put your toes in the ocean, and enjoy the sunset. This is not your Hampton Beach feel. It's walking the beaches in the morning, having some fun with the family in the afternoon, and enjoying the shoreline without huge crowds that can be in your neighboring towns. If you're a golfer like me, there are two amazing private courses, Wentworth by the Sea and Abenaki Country Club. Wentworth by the Sea has amazing vistas looking over the Atlantic Ocean, over to Newcastle, and the Wentworth by the Sea Hotel. Abenaki Country Club, always in pristine condition, and is redoing its clubhouse as we speak. Now, if you want the prestige of Rye, you're going to have to pay the price. The $1 million homes are spectacular, and the view's even better. There's not a lot of condo options, which keeps the character of Rye like it was centuries ago. For those who are looking for that special spot, check out Straws Point, boasting the highest price sale in recent times for $25 million. Tells you a little bit about that neighborhood. Living in Rye, you'll forget that you're just minutes from downtown Portsmouth, area hospitals, shopping, and only an hour from Boston Logan Airport for that international travel. Now let's head to our next community, up in the mountains. I'm talking about North Conway in the Mount Washington Valley of New Hampshire. North Conway is a different energy. It's full of people that are hikers in the summer, skiers in the winter. They love nature. They love being out in the woods. They want to kayak on the Saco River and travel up to Mount Washington and hike the highest peak of New Hampshire. North Conway has shopping. It has 70 outlets in the heart of the strip. It has many different restaurants. Delaney's Hole in the Wall, the Red Parker, many things that have been there for years and years, and new artisan shops that have opened up, new breweries, distilleries, anything you could imagine, North Conway has at your fingertips. Condos, mountaintop homes, ski condos, waterfront condos on the river, neighborhoods are all part of what North Conway has to offer retirees. North Conway, much like many of the towns in the mid to northern part of the state, are lower tax towns. So your tax burden, accompanied with the no sales tax, no income tax that New Hampshire is a great place for retirees to consider. North Conway has its own hospital for those emergency trips that you don't want to be too far away from modern medicine. North Conway also has its own ski area. Cranmore Mountain has many different types of terrain to offer, easy green circle trails and some challenging stuff for those retirees that have been on the mountains their entire life. Après skiing at the base of the mountain in the new lodge is a great time for any Saturday afternoon. If downhill isn't your choice and you enjoy cross-country skiing, there are miles of trails in the Mount Washington Valley. North Conway, much like many of the northern towns in New Hampshire, the price points tend to be a little lower. So if Rye and the oceanfront living is outside your budget, North Conway offers many different condos and single-family homes that are well under $1 million and even approaching $500,000. The only downside to North Conway is many people like to enjoy it in the summertime and take advantage of the outlet shopping. So you will really need to deal with us and learn those shortcuts around the traffic so you can get from the northern part of the town to the southern part of the town without going through every street light with every shopper that's looking for that outlet deal. We're going to leave North Country for a second, where your money goes a little further, and head down to the little-known tax haven called Newcastle, New Hampshire. Newcastle is something else. It's home to only 950 people, all looking for spectacular views, a private setting. It is literally right next to Portsmouth and Rye, a bridge connecting both, but you feel like you're in the middle of the ocean, enjoying the sea breezes with shopping only 5 minutes away. Home to Wentworth by the Sea, one of the oldest grand hotels in New Hampshire. Newcastle is a destination for sure, but home to a few. For those retirees that want one of the lowest, if not the lowest, tax rate towns in New Hampshire, Newcastle is the choice. Newcastle is often referred to as the Great Island. It has a 32-acre conservation land that people walk their dogs and take their evening strolls. Being that it is an island, there's many waterfront opportunities. Some have deep water docks, and you're only 5 minutes from downtown Portsmouth. Newcastle isn't trying to be anything but what it is: an island community surrounded by beauty, privacy, and neighbors who wave to say hi as they're walking down the street. Now let's head up north, back to the Lakes region, to a town that I call Wolfeboro's big brother, Meredith. Meredith is on the northwest corner of Lake Winnipesaukee, the 44,000-acre lake, crystal clear water with 250 islands and 8 other towns that surround it. Meredith is one of the premier towns for retirees because of its many different options of waterfront homes, condos, 55-plus communities, restaurants, as well as a downtown where you can get some more ice cream. Meredith has the town docks, many restaurants that are right on top of the water. You have Lago, you've got Church Landing, you've got town docks, named after the town docks. And you've got the camp, all of which have different meal choices. The Lago has great Italian food, the camp has some fantastic comfort food, and the town docks has some sand under a picnic table so you feel like you're dining on the beach. Meredith is also just up from Laconia, its own private airport for those who are lucky enough to come in by their own plane. Meredith is on the shores of Lake Winnipesaukee and enjoys many of the waterfront attributes of a waterfront town. Yet in the wintertime, you've got Guilford, 2 towns south with Gunstock ski area, and you've got Loon, Waterville, and Cannon, 3 major mountains for New Hampshire, less than an hour away. Meredith has many different options to be on the water. You've got condos, you've got water access homes, and then you've got homes, beautiful homes, right on top of the water. The range of pricing can go from $2 million up to $8 and over $10 million, depending if those property owners will ever let them go. The best time to enjoy the lake is during the week. If you're heading to Meredith on a Saturday, you're going to be many tourists vying for the parking spots at the town docks and to get into the mini restaurants. But as a retiree, one of the best attributes of living in New Hampshire is enjoying what everyone comes to visit on the weekends, all week, all by yourself. Meredith has its farmers markets, its craft fairs, and it wouldn't be a New England waterfront town without a few different ice cream shops. Ben & Jerry's, the town docks, both compete for the best ice cream in town. If you're lucky enough to land on the water in a waterfront home, you're able to take your boat from your dock and bring your guests to go grab a coffee, dinner, or an ice cream and park at the public boat docks right in the center of town. Meredith gives you that classic New England Lakes region feel, waterfront home, walking downtown in just minutes from 93, in less than 2 hours to Boston, and an hour and a half to the border of Massachusetts. The last town I'm going to mention is a gem up near North Conway called Jackson, New Hampshire. Jackson is one of those New England towns in the foothills of the White Mountains. It's just a right off Route 16, and to get there you have to go through a red covered bridge. Can't get more New England than that. It's in the valley, flat land with lots and lots of cross-country ski trails in the winter and a golf course in the summertime. Black Mountain is one of those New England ski areas that has been around forever. No high-speed quads, not a lot of snowbanking, but a lodge full of locals that love their ski area. Jackson is on the maps of bed and breakfasts. It has great restaurants, a low tax rate, and a fantastic place to retire. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to miss Jackson on your way to the White Mountains, so be sure to set Google to take a right and go under the covered bridge. I've talked about many different places to retire in New Hampshire. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just towns that I have had the fortune of selling homes to many people that have retired and are quite happy with not only their tax situation, their living situation, their community situation, but a place where people come up and visit, family come up and stay. We would love to show you these towns and other towns that are in New Hampshire, all of which have their own characteristics, all of which have their own benefits, and there's no perfect town. So you really need area experts like the Dow team provides. We have agents that live in all of these towns, and they live there by choice, and they're happy to tell you their stories of why they live there. Being from New Hampshire, 9 generations in New Hampshire, and a team of people that represent New Hampshire, I would love to tell you more about each community, what each town brings to you, and how your needs will match with each of those towns. If you're interested in retirement planning, estate planning, click on the video above. Thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned for more videos with more content about New Hampshire.